Hello everyone, this is Digit D, and I'm here with another video game review for you guys, and that review is called Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. This game is awesome, it's fun, it's hard, and it's from my favorite company of all time, From Software, video game company wise. If I could, I would love to work for them, so if they ever see this video, please allow me to get a job there. But the game is called Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. It's another From Software game. This is after they did the Dark Souls 3 series. They finished all of those, and then they did Bloodborne, and then they wanted to do something different that was out of the Dark Souls, but more of this, so they came to Sekiro, which is actually really awesome. It's a fun game. It's hard. Very, very hard. This game is not easy. I'm telling you that now. It's not easy. If you are a casual gamer, you probably will not have fun with this, but it can be still towards casual gamers. It's just that you're going to have a tough time, the learning curve, everything else. So since I'm a huge Dark Souls fan, I already know and learn from all the other Dark Souls games, so I know how the game plays out. I know what I have to do to play this game, but I have to figure out the mechanics, because there's always things you gotta learn. So let's hop right into my in-depth review of Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. So this is an in-depth review. I'm here playing the game here, so you can actually see. You can see my save file, everything else. Like I usually do with my in-depth reviews, you're able to see the gameplay as I'm actually playing and talking about it. So, yes. So in Sekiro, you start as this guy here. You go through the mission of, a little spoiler here, you're trying to do, more like you're trying to save a prince. So you start off saving him and trying to capture him, and then after that, he does get recaptured again, and then you have to go through the process of getting him back and everything else. But this game is more like a mission statement, but it's not more like a mission statement. You do have multiple things you can do in this game. So you start off down here. You start off right up in here. It's in this area. And this is where you start learning the main storyline of the game. You find out you're from the puppet guy. He's the puppet master, who is the person who not teaches you, but tells you and fix your arm after a certain major event that happens in the game. So let's do this chunk by chunk. So let's talk about story first. So this is going to be the story part of the segment of the game. So in the story part, you meet up in this area here, and you learn about a little bit more about your guy here. So in the options area, they don't really have anything you can do to figure out or go back to the past of the area part to figure out anything about the lore, but you can find more lore between all of the items. That's how mostly From Software does their things, but this one is more of a little bit of story driven, so you get to see there's the lore inside of each and every item that you have. There's lore in the skills you have. You get to see what they do, which is actually really awesome. So you start off with the story. Your story part is you're going to go save a kid, protect the kid because you're his protector, and you go on various missions. And your missions is to stop the dragon blood or the dragon rot that is happening in the game. Certain people get afflicted with dragon rot after you died so many times. That's why it's called Shadows Die Twice. It's because you can die twice. And if you die the second time, you take on rot. Then you take on more rot, more rot, more rot, more rot. And there's a few endings you can do in this game. There's a total of 3 different endings. Everything changes as you play along in the game. So from right here, this was able to allow me to get to the other area, but I can't get to it now, so it's blocked off. So I actually have to go to my stone idol and go to these certain areas to where I fight certain creatures and stuff like that. So I'm able to rest, purchase emblems, able to travel to certain areas, and there's the dragon rot restoration where you get to change your dragon rot and everything. So see, this is where you get to find the other place, the inner sanctum, the other major locations, but that's where you come across in the storyline. It's in the travel area, the Ashina Castle, but I only can go to certain parts because I have to relock them because of how far I am in the game. I already completed the game. There's still two more endings. There's two more endings to this game, so there's 3 endings total you can do for the game. I already completed it with the super good ending. Then I still have to do the other 2 endings for it, but it won't take long. It doesn't take long at all. Once you learn and how to play this game. So, basis of the story, since after you're going to go save the kid, you're already his protector after you meet him. You go meet up with him, resave him again. Then he sends you on variable missions to go solve the problem of fixing the dragon rod, so you can actually get rid of it. So you can go to, because this is where you usually take place, is the next part of the missions. There is a waiting screen. So, we're back at the Ashina Castle. This is where you do some meeting stuff here. Since I'm near the end of the game, you can't just talk to her, but you actually have to go out, and I have to go do the thing to go fight the main boss of the game. But this is mostly the main other second hub area. It's where you go talk, and you get your various missions and everything else. You get your variable missions here. You can go out the door. That's either this way over here. There's like a few exits in and out, but that place is closed. So with the story of you doing your variable missions and everything else, the game does get a lot harder and everything, because every time you progress in a certain part of the story, environment in your game world will change. These are the main areas that you will traverse and go through, but everything in the area will change. Like, it will slowly develop into certain things that are a little bit different than what you're used to. So, like, once you get to a further part in the story near the end of the game, this is where they're being on fire. Everybody's down there. Somebody's shooting magic fire out with his wand down there. You can actually see it. You can actually jump, climb. So this is all part of the story area, the story elements, that everything is changing. Now, there's a guy who's fighting. This means I'm in the battle mode here. Somebody's going to be after me soon. So this is part of the story. So you get to see what's going on with the story and everything else. So you can sneak it. So back onto the story part. That's the gist of the story. So it's actually a nice story, and you get to learn more of the backstory of the main character. You get to learn backstory of everyone else and all the people that you fight and all the amazing people you get to fight. So, which is actually pretty cool. So I'm done with the story part, and the story I like the story. It's nice. It's fun. It is what it is. So it's an alright story. So, let's talk about the gameplay mechanics. The gameplay mechanics is one of the long parts of the game. It's the gameplay mechanics. So, let's talk about it. So, with the gameplay mechanics, they still got the same rest feature in every From Software game there is. Bloodborne, you do this. Put your hand, and boom. Dark Souls, that's in Bloodborne. Dark Souls, you sit down at your whatever it is, at your fire station, and then you just magically teleport. So the difference is Buddha here is the praying one for Sekiro. So here at the idol, you can purchase your spirit emblems. You can buy new certain things that are in here, but it's mostly just for spirit emblems for using your special other game mechanic that you have. There's a travel, this thing allows you to travel, instant teleport to certain locations, but you have to unlock them first. Once you unlock them, that's when you be able to go back to those areas and actually able to traverse those areas. So you can acquire certain skills in the game. So you can enhance your physical abilities, you can enhance your attack power, you can enhance your other attack power by skill points if you have extra skill points. So if you don't want to enhance them by memory, you can advance them by skill power. Once you get to that, and then you can do Dragon Restoration, because after a while, you do get red, and then after you die so many times, it just becomes a negative thing that happens. There's a thing called Unseen Aid that will give you 30% of item drops, any type of loot drop that you get in the game, which is actually really nice. So let me travel to more of an area that I can show you something pretty cool. Like it's called Simpo Temple. I think I'm saying the name wrong. Yeah, it's right here. It's at the very top of the area. So there is the teleportation. There is the wait screen. This is another part of the game mechanic I wish it didn't have, was the waiting screen, but this is the waiting screen, like for teleporting to areas if you don't want to wait. But everything else is seamless transition. So if you want to seamlessly transition into different areas, you can. It's not that hard. You just have to find it. You got to find the specific routes to get there, to get to the location, and everything else. Oh, it's not this one. That's right. I went to the wrong... No, it's the right one. It should be the right one. Yeah, it's not this one. I have to go to the other one in Simple Temple. It's the other one that's at the very top. It's one of another major game mechanic that they added into the game, so you can make it harder. If you want to make this game harder, you go to the Simpo Temple, and then you go to the, not the Inner Sanctum, oh, the Bell Demon Temple. Go to the Bell Demon Temple, you ring the bell, and it makes the game harder. So it makes it twice as hard. So now, it's not that easy. Now it's going to be a little bit harder. You ring this bell, there's a way to actually get up here without taking the other way, because the other way is you find a secret door, you take the secret door, which is behind a certain area, which is right here, it shows. But to get out here, you have to go take another complete different route to get up here. And to get here, you have to go through the normal way of getting to the Simpo area, and then you have to climb your way all the way up to the top, find your secret way, because there is a lot of climbing, jumping, and platforming in this game that makes it kind of tough and difficult. And then you also have the super hard bosses that you fight in the game and everything else. So this is another fun thing about the gameplay mechanics, is you can make it harder. What I just did there, I encountered a guy. I was going to fight him, but I instantly killed him because I am very, 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 very powerful at the moment in the game. You could jump off and kill yourself, which is pretty cool in this game. If you want to kill yourself, be more than happy to do it. You can just walk off and just kill yourself. But let me go to a certain part so I can show you the fighting mechanics that are in the game. Because basically, you're mostly in defense. This game is a defensive game. You can be the attacking person to attack, but you can just be on defense. So these are your ways. Like, you get your other materials here. You get the switch, your idols, and everything else, your board. So I have mine set up a certain way. So I started a fight with him. He has to be able to see me so that you can fight them. If you do die, I think you lose some of the stuff, but they are fighting each other right now. I don't know why I've been fighting each other. So like that, when it's attacking me, you can instant kill. So you have to be able to block their stuff. This game it's awesome. So you gotta learn the fighting mechanics in this game. This game is really, really, really strong on what they do for fighting mechanics and everything else. So like right there, you gotta learn how to parry at the right moment. You have to learn how to parry. You gotta learn how to fight. Like that, I just instantly killed him because I walked up to him. You can dodge and parry certain moves like that, but you have to hit the B button at the right exact time to get it to happen. So you get to see that it's a defensive game. So that's what it's all about. You're trying to defensively fight them. You gotta be able to take your stance and do parry blows to defeat your opponent. If you don't do it right, you will die multiple times to get that right. It took me a long time to figure out how to make sure to get it correct on a while. Because when it very first came out, I waited and then I finally played it, and I just fell in love with this game. So I haven't beaten it multiple times like I have did Dark Souls, Bloodborne, which I would love to do, but with this game, you have to learn the parry mechanics. You have to learn those. There's a guy in the beginning area that teaches you all this stuff, but once you get a certain sword that is on his back, you can sever the ties of the dragon root so they won't get reborn. So, yeah, so that's the game, that is the fighting mechanics. I just wanted to show you guys how cool and bad everything is in this game. This game's awesome. There's a lot of blood. This game is not for kids. No, it's a mature rating game, and this game has a lot of blood, a lot of death, and or you doing yeah, with the sword. It's pretty cool. Once you have to do this for bosses too, and that's the other thing about it. You have to build up their stamina bar to break them, and then once they break, and then you get to do the signature stab kill, and then you got to do it again to kill the bosses. So this is a cool, fun playing mechanic that they added into the game of Sekiro. This game's fun, it's awesome, and it's hard. So you have different areas to do certain things. There's also, let me go back to the other beginning place, because I got to show you this other gameplay mechanic that is in Sekiro. So the other cool mechanic they have, you can buy stuff. Once you get to a certain point, you do get a guy who can buy stuff. It says purchase items, sell items, and talk. You won't be able to see it behind the camera, but that's what's there. You can buy stuff from him. Once he gets to a certain point, he will have infinite of these items. But you go into here, and you see where this thing here, the stomp, you get to inspect. You can fit a new prosthetic tool, or you can upgrade your prosthetic tool. So you can fit a new prosthetic tool, you have to find them out in the world, and then you're able to upgrade these prosthetic tools. So to upgrade is right here. It's the upgrade tree. It's where you get to upgrade all your prosthetic tools, and you get to see certain ones do certain things, which is actually pretty cool. And then once you do get them equipped, you can go to here, and you can see them right here. You can change them out, where I have this one. It's one of the strongest shurikens. If they're defensing, they still take damage. This one, it's a really good sword if you want to attack like multiple times, and you can't do it. So it allows you to attack so many times, and then it adds a poison mist and something else to make them inflict more damage, which is actually pretty cool. And then this breaks down certain. It's an explosion, and it cuts down certain wood and armor and stuff like that in the game. So, which is actually pretty cool. Another cool game mechanic that they have in this game. So let me travel there. Travel to the Hirata Estate. You can swim. Oh man, this is pretty cool. Swimming in this game, I didn't know you could actually swim, but you can swim. So you ain't dying by drowning. And so these do give out little temps that tells you right there, and little stuff there. Oh no, the game's lagging. My face is lagging. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. It lagged out right there. So this is part of the Hirata Estate. You start at the... It's a memory clip that you get in the game that allows you to get certain items. And this area is pretty hard because you have to fight Lady Butterfly in this area as the main boss. So... And Lady Butterfly can be very, very tough to fight. I don't know why is it lagging all of a sudden. Somehow my game's been lagging mostly or lately. Or when it gets to the graphic areas or something. I gotta figure that out. But you can swim in the game. So here I am swimming. You can dive, you can do that, you can swim, dive, which is pretty cool. You can do all of this stuff here in the area. And there's the guy. He was in the pool, but now he became a fish. He wants more scales. It's the scales that you get in the game to a certain part of the degree. He wants more scales. But yeah, you can swim in the game. You can do everything. So that's the main part of the main game mechanics. Well, we're going to talk about the art in the game. Let's talk about the graphics. The graphics in this game is a wonder on PC. It looks fucking amazing. It's amazing. The graphics are amazing. They're brutally amazing. You can tell by this the part where he's wet, he's standing here, everything. I wish he got a new multiple outfit. You can see how the stains of the weapons look. You can see how the ground looks. You can see how the water looks. Everything looks like it is done pretty darn well, the graphics wise. And this is just a small area, and you can tell by the sound it sounds a little bit more of a depleted area. But let's go back to the last communion temple or whatever. We're just gonna go to the last communion temple so you can see what the graphics did. Just close in on you. So that item that's used, you get that very early on. So it allows you to travel back and forth to the areas that you need to get to. So if you want to get back home, you can. You can get back to the Hirata Estate and everything else. So let's go to the Inner Sanctum. This is another beautiful area that's part of the game that ain't looking dead. But the game graphics are looking really good. They're in the very beginning of this game. You can tell. Look at this. Very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. You have to fight in some of these areas and everything else. The graphics are really done high, well quality. So, and these places and temples, even the main character here is beautiful also. The main, everything in the game is very beautiful. It's top of the line. This is where you get to do the talk. Oh. So with her, she's another part of the other storyline here. You have to do certain else with rice and everything. Then once you talk to her and everything else, but she's part of the storyline there. So I'm at a certain point of the storyline where I have to start all over if I want to get the other endings in the game. So I would have to start all over to get the other endings. But you can see Look at the chandeliers. They did a great job on this game. The graphics are amazing. I would give it an 8 out of 8 out of graphics and everything else. The intensity of the weapons, the blood, everything else in this game. It is beautiful. Look at that. She is, you could see the focal point of me behind the person. So you can see this is perfectly, they did an amazing job on this game. So story-wise, it's all right. It's an all right story. Graphic-wise, is really really good. That's an 8. The game mechanics are really fun, but are going to be really tough to learn. So I give it around like a 7 because of the hard point. You have to learn how to play, how to fight, how to control everybody, and then on top of that, besides the gameplay mechanics, we got the music, the sound. It's the battle system where I just did the fight. Oh, the music is so great. Let me show you parts of that in... Let me show you some of the music that you can get or acquire that's in the game. Once you have bought the game, they allow you to get certain song. They give you a soundtrack. Somehow I got a soundtrack of the game. So let's see here. I hit play and then hit the mini soundtrack. So there is an art book. There is an art book. It's going to show you the digital art book and soundtrack. So here's the soundtrack, so you get to hear. This is the battle music. This is the battle music, man. This song gets me hyped up every time I'm fighting. I'm like, yo, we're at an intense fight. I'm gonna kick some booty, yo! And then you got the Lady Butterfly song, so you do get a few soundtracks here. And the music, I actually enjoy the music. It fits perfectly with this game. It makes you feel of how it is in that era of time frame and everything. As a ninja, a samurai, protector, or whatever you want to be in this game. It's awesome. It's fun. The game's awesome. It's fun. It's enjoyable. So I really do hope you guys enjoyed this game review of Sekiro Shadow Die Twice, because I really did like talking. I really do enjoy playing this game, and I really did enjoy talking to you guys about this game, which is actually pretty cool. So I will leave on the note, the music is really good, the story is alright, the graphics are really good, the gameplay mechanics are really good also, even though there's a learning curve, but you have to learn it. And then there's certain combinations of weapons you can do to put stuff together to do your certain moves and everything else. So I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video. This in-depth review of Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. I actually played through the game and everything else. So the other two storylines, you have to do certain things to get the other two storylines. So that's a little bit different way where you have to do certain things. But those boss battles can be hard and challenging in the game. So if you guys really want to check out this game, I'm going to give a shout out to all my patrons who thank you for being my patrons. I do have one patron. His name is Daniel Raw. I'm giving you a shout out, man, in this video game review. So I do thank you for being a loyal support to my Patreon channel. And this is all going for my patrons only video, another one. So I want to say thank you guys for checking out this review. And if you guys want to see another video, it's more coming on. There will be another one coming up soon. Actually, not soon. It will probably be up to date with this one. So I'd like to say thank you guys for checking, and thank you guys for watching the whole thing. If you enjoyed more of my content, you can check out my YouTube channel. It's at YouTube/DigityGaming. So I'm going to say thank you guys for checking me out. And you guys have a good one.